speak through Fox News and let the independents who are tuning into you, let them know what it is that she stands for, the principles behind her positions.
It used to be that new candidates were advised to brush up on the issues so they could handle questions from anyone, even tough questions. The idea behind that was that it prepared you also for actually governing. But now the advice to candidates is only to talk to sympathetic reporters.
We need to start now by electing strong leaders who aren't afraid to shake it up. We need strong, principled leaders, public servants who respect our Constitution.
We need clarity. We deserve answers, so we don't ask the same questions tomorrow.
Good night, Lon.
Time for tonight's rewrite. So if you don't have a podium or a press briefing room at your disposal because you quit your job as governor, but you want to comment on today's WikiLeaks news, where do you turn? Well, if you are unprepared to answer any questions, and if you're the most recent vice presidential candidate who will never be president, you turn to Twitter, of course. Earlier today, Sarah Palin tweeted, "Inexplicable. I recently won in court to stop my book, America by Heart, from being leaked. But the U.S. government can't stop Wikileaks' treasonous act." I don't have any objection to multimillionaire Sarah Palin using the news of the day to plug her latest book to her 317,000 Twitter followers, which is about 308,000 more Twitter followers than I have. But as with every Palin tweet, some fact-checking is in order. Portions of Palin's book were leaked to the website Gawker, which posted passages online before the book was published. So Palin did not successfully stop her book from being leaked. It was after it was leaked, publicly leaked, and read by thousands, that she and her publisher were able to launch a copyright lawsuit to prevent Gawker from continuing to post the already leaked passages from her book. Then, Palin took the ultimate action to plug the leaks of parts of her book by releasing to bookstores the entire book, America by Heart, Reflections on Family, Faith, and Flag. Having released the entire book, there's no longer any point to any website posting passages from a book that's freely available in a bookstore near you. The comparable action for the Obama administration would be to, tomorrow, publicly release all government classified documents, all of them, going all the way back to World War II. That would make it impossible for WikiLeaks to leak anything, because everything would already be out there and freely available. And as to Palin's copyright lawsuit, government emails and memos are not protected by copyright laws. Classified memos are protected by federal laws that in many instances make it a crime to release such documents, but that crime is not treason. Palin mistakenly accused WikiLeaks of committing a treasonous act. Julian Assange, the person who controls WikiLeaks, is not a citizen of the United States. Therefore, he cannot be charged with treason against the United States of America. But someone has already been charged for leaking classified documents in this WikiLeaks case. And no, it's not a member of Al-Qaeda or a resident of Greenwich Village or some other place Sarah Palin doesn't think is the real America, or one of those terrorists she has accused Barack Obama of palling around with. Under arrest for tonight for suspicion of this crime is a member of an organization that Sarah Palin thinks is flawless and has up to now been home to nothing but heroes. Yes, he is a member of the United States Army, Private First Class Bradley Manning, an all-American boy from the reliably red state of Oklahoma, a place included in Sarah Palin's Real America. So Sarah Palin should have said, "Wow, this WikiLeaks thing is inexplicable. How do they expect us to read 250,000 documents online? Too bad there's nothing the government could have done to prevent this. I'm glad WikiLeaks' next target is a bank instead of Team Palin."
She's extra sassy these days, too, because she's winning. All her mama Grizzlies are winning. And they're busting through that glass ceiling. And the mama Grizzlies Washington, and they're going to flip your picnic table, Dave. You know what I noticed on Fox News last night, though, is on Fox News, they address her as Governor Palin, which is like calling me Dairy Queen employee. Like, I was once, but I quit.
That's right.
There is that point there that somehow Sarah Palin forgets. Oh, well.
Perhaps we are not properly educating our youth in the exceptional nature of America. It's worrisome because this belief in American exceptionalism is something that every new generation has got to make its own if we expect our republic and our liberties to be secure and to live on. For America to survive, we have got to pass this on to that next generation, to the young kids who are here, to the students.
You know, this real America, does it exist, John?
Well, in terms of real American and exceptionalism, look, the most basic thing that people can do in support of democracy is vote. And we take our votes very seriously. The people of Alaska voted for Sarah Palin, and Sarah Palin quit. Exceptional people don't quit. And I seriously tell my kids this probably 2 or 3 times a week. It's better to lose than to quit. So she can sit there and she can talk about being exceptional. She can talk about better of America. If she were a better person, she would have stood and fought. She chose to check out and to do it to make money. I've got no problem with making money, but that's what she is. She's a reality
I
star.
have a different observation, though. He hears what's going on. That speech, the first 20 minutes, was every vapid cliche strung together. It was complete, almost nonsense.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it. Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women and as politicians, that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?